The Pfizer vaccine has the highest efficacy out of all the vaccines that are developed against the COVID-19 virus or the SARS-CoV-2. Welcome to another episode of Curious Brain, and in this video we're going to discuss about the Pfizer vaccines. So who should take this Pfizer vaccine and who should not take this Pfizer vaccine? What is the mechanism of action by which this Pfizer vaccine works? And finally, what are the adverse effects associated with the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine is based on the new mRNA-based vaccine technology that has never been used before, at least in the clinical settings. It is under developmental stages, and this is the first company to use this technology to develop a vaccine that has reached the global stage and is the first mRNA-based vaccine to be used worldwide. A quick disclaimer regarding this video. This video is not medical advice. Please consider this as just an update regarding the Pfizer vaccine at this recorded time, and do consult with your physician before taking the COVID vaccination or any other vaccination for that matter. The word corona means crown, and this virus is in the shape of a crown, and that is why it is called as a coronavirus. This is an enveloped virus, meaning that it has a lipid envelope covering it. That is why it is particularly susceptible and sensitive to alcohol-based sanitizers, which has the property to damage the lipid envelope. Hand sanitization plays a vital role in killing and preventing the spread of the coronavirus. It has RNA or ribonucleotide as its genetic material. The coronavirus on its surface has a lot of spike proteins, and these spike proteins attaches to the ACE receptors of the human cell. Once this is attached, it can enter into the human cell and it can interfere with various cellular processes. The RNA present in the coronavirus instructs the human cell to make more viral copies. When the cell makes more viral copies, it destroys and damages the cell, and the cell gets sliced and more virus particles are released into the surrounding tissue, and this cycle in turn causes more virus to affect more human cells, and this is how the COVID virus affects the human cells. What is a vaccine and how does a vaccine work? You take a pathogen like a bacteria or a virus and then you can kill it or inactivate it. Inactivation of the pathogen like a bacteria or a virus can be done by heat, chemical or radiation methods. This is made into a formulation and introduced into the human body. The route of administration of a vaccine could be either through the muscle, intramuscularly, oral, like oral polio drops, and other various routes are used for the employment of vaccinations. Once this vaccine is introduced into the human body, it interacts with the immune system of the body. This causes the production of antibodies against the vaccine particles. This antibody is stored in the immune system as a form of immune memory, and in the future when a vaccinated person encounters with the actual pathogen which is found in nature, then the preformed antibodies elicit a powerful response against the pathogen and kills the pathogen and stops the disease. This is fundamentally how a vaccine works. So how long does it take to develop a vaccine? It usually takes about 8 to 10 years of research by virologists, microbiologists, and big pharmaceutical companies to go through research and development, animal trials, clinical trials, safety trials, and to bring the vaccine into the general public and to do all the post-marketing surveillance. But in this global pandemic, we cannot wait for 10 years, and this vaccine has been developed within a short time span of just 1 year. What are the various types of vaccines? Vaccines can be of three different types: live attenuated, killed, or mRNA based vaccines. In live attenuated vaccines, the pathogen, which is a bacteria or a virus, is weakened. In killed vaccine, the pathogen is killed using the following methods: heat, chemicals, or radiation, and then inserted into the body. And in the third method, the mRNA or the messenger RNA is introduced into the human body through an injection. This mRNA further enters the human cells and codes for certain specific proteins. These proteins induce the antibodies that are produced and are stored in the form of immune memory. Live attenuated vaccines do not require booster dose, whereas killed and mRNA vaccines usually do require a booster dose. Pfizer formulation. What does the Pfizer formulation consist of? The Pfizer formulation uses the novel technology in the field of vaccines called the mRNA-based technology. The entire genome of the SARS-CoV infection or the virus is not used, and only that particular segment of the RNA, the mRNA, which codes for the spike protein is used, and because of this reason, the Pfizer vaccine cannot give a COVID infection to a vaccinated person caused because of that vaccine. Once this mRNA is introduced into the human body, it enters into the cell through the lipid carrier, which serves as a function to protect that mRNA. Once this mRNA enters into the cell, it codes for the spike proteins to be produced, and this is expressed. These spike proteins stimulate the T cells, which in turn produce antibodies against the spike proteins of the coronavirus and are stored in the form of immune memory. In the future, when a vaccinated person encounters with this coronavirus, the preformed antibodies will kill it and neutralize it. The coronavirus infection can cause mild, moderate, and severe diseases, and the severe diseases and the associated complications with severe COVID infection is significantly reduced with the administration of the Pfizer vaccine. Mechanism of action of the Pfizer vaccine, or in other words, how does this Pfizer vaccine work? The Pfizer vaccine is given intramuscularly in two divided doses at a time interval of 21 days or 3 weeks. The Pfizer vaccine has an efficacy of 95%, meaning out of every 100 people who are vaccinated, 95 people are protected and 5 people have the risk of developing the COVID infection. How is this efficacy tested? The efficacy is tested by double-blind randomized clinical trials. How does this work? Out of 48,000 people involved in the Pfizer vaccine study, 24,000 are given the Pfizer vaccine and the rest of the 24,000 are given the placebo drug, which has no effect. And with this study, the efficacy is measured to be around 95%. And this vaccine has the highest efficacy so far. How does this mRNA work? The mRNA is injected intramuscularly through a lipid carrier, and this transfers the mRNA without being degraded into the cell. Once this mRNA reaches the cell, this codes for the spike proteins of the coronavirus. Not the entire genome or the RNA is used, but only the proteins that code for the spikes of the coronavirus is used, because the spikes are very important for it to attach to the ACE receptors to enter into the human cell and cause the infection. The spike protein that is produced by the mRNA is interacted with the T cells of the human body. The T cells produce antibodies and are stored in the form of immune memory. In the future, when a person gets infected, these preformed antibodies will kill the coronavirus and neutralize the disease. Adverse reactions to the Pfizer vaccine. Usually there is pain at the site of injection for about 2 to 3 days. Fever could be there for a duration of 3 to 4 days, and other non-specific symptoms like fatigue, body pain, myalgia or generalized body pain, headache could be there, nausea or a feeling of vomiting could be there, diarrhea which can last for 2 to 3 days after the administration of the vaccine. And if a person is allergic to any of the components of the Pfizer vaccine, there could be allergic reaction like swelling of the lips and the face in response to the administration of the Pfizer vaccine. Because of these adverse reactions, once a person is injected with the Pfizer vaccine, he is usually recommended to stay at the hospital for a duration of 30 to 45 minutes after the administration to see if he develops any adverse reactions, and if he is not developing any reactions, then he is asked to go home. Otherwise, the allergy or the adverse reaction is treated then and there. People with a history of allergy or atopy to any drugs, antibiotics, or any other medications must consult with your physician before taking the Pfizer vaccination. Pregnant ladies should not take the Pfizer vaccine as there is not sufficient clinical data regarding the safety of the Pfizer vaccine in the pregnant women category. However, lactating women can take the Pfizer vaccine. People below the age of 18 must consult with your pediatrician before taking the Pfizer vaccination, and Pfizer vaccination is now being administered in the pediatric age group. This slide shows all the ingredients that are used in the manufacturing of the Pfizer vaccine, and people with a history of allergy to any of the following ingredients that are mentioned here must not take the Pfizer vaccine. In case of vaccine shortage, people who need the vaccine most must be given first. And who are these people? They include the frontline health workers like doctors, nurses and paramedics, and other people who are associated in the healthcare industry who are directly involved against fighting the COVID virus, and people who are above the age of 65 years of age and other people with comorbid conditions. These people who are vulnerable must be vaccinated first, whereas people who are in a relatively younger age group and who are healthy can be delayed vaccination in case of a vaccination shortage. The efficacy of Pfizer vaccine is about 95% while compared to the Sputnik V vaccine made by Russia, which is around 90%. The efficacy of Covaxin, which is made by India, the Bharat Biotech firm located in Hyderabad, is around 80%, whereas the efficacy of Covishield is around 71%. So in terms of efficacy, Pfizer has the maximum efficacy. Pfizer is relatively safe during lactation and also with people who have comorbid conditions like diabetes and hypertension. The actual virus is not used in the Pfizer vaccine formulation and also in the Moderna vaccine formulation, whereas killed virus is used in the formulation of Covaxin and adenovirus vector is used in the preparation of Sputnik V vaccine and Covishield vaccine. It can be used for elderly age group above the age of 65 years of age. Disadvantages of the Pfizer vaccine. One of the major disadvantages is that it requires deep freeze storage capacity and transportation, which is not freely available in all countries. Therefore, it is only used mainly in the higher income countries like US, UK, Japan, Australia, whereas the use of Pfizer vaccine is extremely limited in lower and middle income countries and also in tropical climates where maintaining a temperature of -70 to -centigrade is very challenging and it cannot be freely used in the rural and urban areas. Moving on to the cost. The cost per dose of a Pfizer vaccine is around $19, whereas that of a Sputnik V, which is a Russian vaccine, is around $10, literally half the price. The cost of Covaxin and Covishield is around $2 to $3 per dose, making Pfizer the most expensive vaccine that is currently available. People with history of allergy to any of the ingredients of the Pfizer vaccine cannot be given the Pfizer vaccine. That's all for this video. All the data that is being shared in this video is what is currently available, and in the future data could change and could be updated. I hope you found this video valuable. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel Curious Brain to stay tuned to all the medical content that we are going to post. See you in the next video.